My name is Ann Minner. I am a children's librarian at the Austin Public Library. I'm also an adjunct instructor at UT for the School of Information. My undergrad is in technical theater. So, of course, that led right into libraries. I was working in technical theater, but I've always had an extreme love for libraries, not just because I'm a reader, but also because of the buildings and the people that work there and the organizational scheme and all that great stuff. And usually the libraries I went to were big, stately buildings that were quite beautiful. So when I decided that technical theater wasn't working out for me as well as I wanted, I came to UT and got my Master's of Library and Information Science. Well, since I'm a youth librarian, that means that I primarily work with kids, but I also work with people who are expecting children, people who have grandchildren, people who never expect children and just want to work with them, or people that are interested in the literature that has to do with children and the fun things that happen there. So I do story times, I do after-school programs, I do a literacy workshop for caregivers so that they know how to help their babies be ready for literacy when they're ready. Right now I'm really interested in that early literacy, and we do an entire workshop called Play, Read, Grow that's based on the 5 things: read, write, sing, talk, play. And it's for caregivers and their children that are under 5. So you wouldn't think of a 2-year-old being a reader, but when you do these things with the child, it gets them ready for this foundation of literacy. So of course you want to read to your children, but also if you get them writing, you get them scribbling and working their fine motor skills, then it's easier for them to use a pencil later. Singing breaks down language, and so you can start working with syllables and you can start working with rhyming words, and that really helps with literacy later. Talking, of course, if you talk to your child and ask them open-ended questions, then they're going to answer more and their vocabulary is going to expand. And of course, playing brings them all together, and you can do all sorts of interactive imaginary play and make up stories and things like that. So that's what I've been focusing on a little bit of the early literacy, but I've been getting interested in emergent readers as well, because there are books that are made just for beginning readers, and those are fascinating. So I've been looking at those a lot too. I teach Children's Lit, INF 322T. And it's a really fun class. It's a lot of it's based in Canvas, and so we have you do modules during the week with open book tests and lots of videos and lots of articles that you read about children's literature. Meanwhile, you're also reading some chapter books, some that you may have read as a child, some that you may have not seen because they're newer, and you read one of those a week. So far, the students have really enjoyed doing that. They feel like they're doing homework, but they feel like it's a break because it's not, maybe not as difficult as other homework that they're doing. But then also in class, we talk about all the different genres. We talk about all the different formats that books come in. We talk about early literacy. We talk about the history of children's literature. And we do participation exercises, which are really important for getting to know the material. And if you're an education major and you take our class, which you should, you will get some really nice activities that you can take to your class that you can replicate in your class. And they're very much a interactive teaching style. So it's a fun class. I feel like the youth librarian job just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Whereas it may have been solely focused on books 20 years ago, now we bring much more technology into it. We do all sorts of things with stop motion animation with cameras, and we do things with social media, and we're bringing teenagers in to write blog posts about what's going on. Libraries in general have really embraced technology. We are sort of at the forefront of the technology that's going on because we need to know how to use it, and then we can teach you how to use it. Libraries will always be important. Books are not going anywhere. If you can figure out what you like to read, then you can entertain yourself and you can expand your world in many ways. It's also important for people to learn how to decide whether the information that they're looking at is valid or not. And libraries can really help you do that by giving you different viewpoints and helping you with your research. And we do that with kids all the time. We teach them how to do research in the library.